Hello beautiful people, it's Sinderfam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking this video, and this is from TikTok. This has been trending for a couple of days now, and this is the I agreed to, or this is very interesting because the title itself is an interesting one. Is I agreed to get an older woman pregnant and she tried to ruin my life. Okay, we're going to be checking this together because this is somebody sharing or talking about this. Let's check it out.
This is the story of me agreeing to get an older woman pregnant and then her trying to ruin my life. When I was 23, I had a one-night stand with a girl from my hometown named Maria. We both knew it was nothing more than that, and we didn't speak after. Several months later, I received a text from her saying that she hadn't been lucky in love and she wanted a baby before it was too late. So she asked if I would get her pregnant and I wouldn't have to bear any responsibility, like a sperm donor.
Wait, a one-night stand calling you later to tell you to be a sperm donor? A one-night stand? Are you guys close like that?
Like a sperm donor. I considered it and I first thought no, but after some time to think about it, I thought it'd be the right thing to do for someone struggling. So we filled out an ironclad agreement, and basically I wouldn't be responsible at all. A while later, she told me she was ovulating, and then a few weeks after that, she told me she was pregnant and it had worked. I went back to California for work, and we didn't speak after that.
Wait, he agreed to be the sperm donor. You have to be kidding me. This is a very interesting decision. Wait, let's take it back.
She was pregnant and it had worked. I went back to California for work, and we didn't speak after that. Unbeknownst to me, she contacted my family behind my back and invited them to the baby shower. They then began getting dinner or whatever regularly, and as she got to know my parents started encouraging me to be in the baby's life, and once I found out it was a little girl, I thought it was the right thing to do.
No, she played him. What? And he, what? No. Okay.
I flew home to be there for the birth, and I got a tattoo of our daughter's middle name before she was born. After our daughter was born, Maria wanted us to be together and be a family.
Wait, this is the text message. All good. I'm gonna stop by Popeye, practice whatever. Sorry, I seemed words. I want to try and make it work with us being the family. And we do that. I want to be with you, Breath. I hate when you leave us. I just need you to say something or how you feel about us. I'm sorry, but that isn't what I want to do. But I'm not understanding. Why would she? But in the first place, why would he even allow or agree to be a sperm donor to somebody who he barely knows? Why would he do that?
And when I said I didn't want to do that, she wouldn't let me see my daughter. My main source of income at the time was the Airbnb that I owned.
Okay, this is the baby and I need to stay in your house for like 2 months until I can get our own place. But why? And so that I can save a little more. I'm talking a position remote, which comes with a huge pay cut. But I won't have to put our daughter in the daycare and I can be home with her. Looks like we're closing this property on June 9th in Metairie. So I'm hoping to be packed up and out of this apartment the weekend. Prior to the 9th, I'll put all of my stuff in storage except for clothes. Can we stay there? What? This is 2022. No way.
And she said this a few months after she was born. I felt bad, so I let her move in for several months, rent-free. Once she moved out, she told me this: I've never done anything to warrant supervised visits, but I agreed to keep the peace. I would come home as often as I could to
No,
see our
let's take it back because this
supervisor.
message is really interesting. This is what I want. I want you to pay her daycare the full amount. But why? Yeah. You can have her on full weekend a month, and if you stay at your parents, something is wrong because obviously she saw something or she just wanted to trap him. That's why she said he should be a donor, sperm donor, and then doing baby shower, inviting his parents. Now, bringing the baby into his life because she said he didn't want, he would not be in the baby's life, but he agreed. But why agree? But why agree to that? Like, it's not making sense. This is wow.
Visits, but I agreed to keep the peace. I would come home as often as I could to see our daughter, and things were usually okay when I was there. These are all from her Facebook. One Halloween, I didn't want to wear matching costumes with Maria, so she wouldn't let me see my daughter for a while. And when our daughter was being baptized, I drove a 14-hour round trip from Nashville to attend. And because I didn't want to see Maria the night before, she didn't allow me to come to the baptism at all. Soon after this, she served me with child support, saying that our original contract wasn't valid because our daughter didn't have a social security number yet. And I didn't fight her on it. I didn't have the time. I was living away. I ended up paying her $10,000 up front. And
No way. And now she's coming for child support? You have to be serious. Wait. Something is okay.
and $750 a month. I was able to move home soon after that, and I began seeing our daughter regularly. Everything was going really well until I got a girlfriend. Even though she had a boyfriend who was regularly around our daughter, she said that my girlfriend couldn't be around our daughter. I was able to get our daughter for an afternoon, and Maria asked what I was doing. I told her that I was with my girlfriend and we were at Lowe's together. She freaked out. I said I'd bring her daughter back to her as soon as we were done, but instead Maria drove to Lowe's, apparently called my dad, and was running up and down the aisle screaming. I don't know what actually happened, but she was freaking out, just blowing up my phone, thinking she was in danger. And keep in mind, my girlfriend is a mom as well as a nurse. Our daughter was never in any danger. When I offered Maria and my girlfriend to get to know each other so they'd be comfortable, with my daughter being around, she immediately said no and called my girlfriend a word that rhymes with chore and refused.
You are playing a really interesting game. This is a wrong move. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Are you serious? But why do that? Why do this to himself? Did he think it true?
With chore and refused to get to know her. Maria then made a public post saying that I was a deadbeat dad and that I hadn't seen our daughter in weeks. Here I am with our daughter just a few days prior to this post. I also left my best friend's bachelor party a day early so I could be home for Father's Day, and she still wouldn't allow me to see her. She even said this to my grandmother. She had her friends comment mean things on my girlfriend's social media multiple times, even though my girlfriend has never been anything but nice to Maria. Because Maria tends to do this, I want to make sure that she doesn't twist the story and make it seem like I abandoned our daughter. I recently found out that our daughter isn't mine. I don't know who the dad is, but I've had 2 paternity tests done, and they both say this.
Oh my god, the baby isn't his? Oh my god. But no, back to what he said. Why did he even agree to be a sperm donor? And the baby isn't his? Like all of this stress and all of this? Oh, what?
I believed Maria when she told me that I was the only possible father. The situation was weird, but I was always happy to be a dad. I knew that Maria already knew she was pregnant. She had to have when she asked me to get her pregnant. I didn't think that was something that someone would lie about to another human being.
So she wanted to trap him. But why? And he did not think about the consequences of being fathering a child for somebody you're not even ready to be with.
about to another human being. Not only to me, but my entire family as well.
Oh my God.
Everybody is distraught about this. Maria, I allowed you to paint me as the villain and you as the victim for years to keep peace, but I hope you know that the only victim here is your child. This is the story of me agreeing to get an older woman pregnant and then her trying to...
No, we could just...
No, but before we go on with this, now I just feel sad for the little girl because this is an adult. So, I mean, there are some adult decisions or some decisions you're supposed to take. Think thoroughly. Why put yourself through the stress of fathering a child for somebody you're not ready to be with? Why though? Why would he do that? What was he thinking? And now finding out that the child isn't his? Oh no, the poor baby. Poor little girl.
Actually have to go and watch this whole story. Like, it's actually mental. At first I was watching it and I was like, okay, like, I'm in a similar situation where, like, the ex is being mental and, like, okay, I get it. And, like, but then there was a plot twist and I was not ready for the plot twist. And, like, TikTok done its thing where, like, it just brought us this drama and, like, we are consumed by it. Like, I can't go and watch this.
Exactly. I just, like, hearing all of this is not making sense. How did... Wow.
Child wasn't his? The child wasn't his? My ADD wouldn't let me finish the story. But the guy who got on this app and explained that he agreed to be a sperm donor. But then the lady went to his family and convinced his family that here's your grandbaby. Then convinced him to be a part of the child's life. Then put him on child support. Then made his life a living hell when he got a new girlfriend.
Yes.
You mean to tell me the end to the story was it wasn't even his baby?
You get, like, it's a really risky game here. What was he thinking? Because obviously the lady in question knows what she was doing, but him, he put himself in this situation in the first place, and we'll have to be honest, because obviously, how do you just agree to be some sperm donor to somebody you don't want to be with? Like somebody calling you to say, oh, they want to have a child, and would you agree to be the sperm donor? You're not going to be in the baby's life, and you agreed? Wow.
Women, before you give a man a child, he must marry you first.
Thank you, sister girl. Thank you. Somebody had to say it.
He must walk you down that aisle and make you a wife first.
Thank you.
Men get a paternity test. I do not care what she tries to tell you. Get a paternity test. If you have learned nothing else from this app, those two things as you walk into this world while you're humping. Be a wife first, get a paternity test. It wasn't his baby.
Exactly what we keep saying. Paternity test. I don't care what anybody's going to be saying. Oh, paternity test is going to do. Get a freaking paternity test. And seriously, I don't understand why many women want to put themselves through this situation to be mother hen. Baby factory, baby making factory. We get it. The situation of things are hard. But why though? Why are you putting yourself at risk and the life of your baby? You don't even consider yourself or your baby. Is not making sense. What game are these? Like, this is not making sense. She put she had a freaking paternity test, and it's a good thing he did a paternity test, but he realized that the child wasn't his. Oh my God.
Because a lot of men don't ask for paternity tests, which is weird at this point. And also, you can go down to the drugstore and do it yourself. So I don't understand how you let years pass and you don't know. Odd. But also in certain states, if you are acting like the child's father, you're going to be on the hook for child support if you break up. Even if you met her and the child was 2 years old at the time, if you stepped in the role as father, when picked up the child from school, you got them some insurance, you're the emergency contact, y'all live in the house. If you and the mother break up, you're responsible for child support of that child.
And this is the thing, the law is not favorable to men. But in this case, this man put himself in this situation. He put himself in this because he did not even think about himself, the possibility or the possible case that what if the both of you don't stay together or are not together, or you may want to have a different life or separate life from this person in question. But fathering a child just because you want to be a child, then marry the freaking lady or marry her first. What? Paying child support? Oh no.
Which I think is so wrong.
Yes.
That's why there's so many men that are not willing to be stepdaddy anymore.
Absolutely true.
Because they're on the hook. I also believe that if a man signs the birth certificate and we find out later on down the road it is not his child, not only is he not responsible for child support, if he did pay any up until that point, she should have to pay it back once the child is 21 years old.
Absolutely, because the law itself is not favorable to men at all. Lots of cases or lots of people talk about child support, paternity test, or paternity fraud and all of that, and nothing is being done to the woman. Nothing is being done to her, but no, it's always going to be the man that is always at fault. Because what a man that is not, the child is not his, but he's been forced to pay child support. Like, really? So what are you encouraging?
I wholeheartedly believe that. If that child is not legally adopted,
exactly,
or if it did not come about through IVF, if that child is not biologically his, I do not feel he should be financially responsible for it.
Exactly.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Thank you, because obviously this is a hard, long conversation lots of people don't want to have. Because lots of women do this and go scot-free because, I mean, the law is favorable to them.
Not the father. TikTok Premium has really been popping off these past few weeks. We have Brett. He was 23 at the time. Meets a woman named Maria. They hit it off a few times and Maria drops a bomb. She wants a baby. He's a bit late.
Like, this is even crazy. Like, hearing the story again is the craziest thing ever.
In her life, hasn't found love. Baby. She's a bit late in her life, hasn't found love, hasn't found the one. And our guy is meant to be a donor. That is it, no strings attached. Or so he thought. I can only believe that this is because he was 23, frontal lobe wasn't frontal lobing. He goes through with it. Fast forward, they've done the deed. He's in another state, living his life. But Maria, oh, she's out there bonding with his family behind his back.
What? That is even crazy. You get crazy. How do you even think of this? We live in crazy times, but this one indeed is crazy with the stretch.
Getting cozy with them. The point where they're like, yeah, maybe cozy with them. The point where they're like, yeah, maybe you should be a part of this baby's life. Strings, they were getting attached. What does Brett do? He decides to be a dutiful father, especially once he heard he's having a daughter, tattoos the baby's middle name on his arm, and he shows up. He's the donor who stepped up, essentially. Then it gets spicy. Maria's like, maybe we should be a family. Mind you, the agreement was co-parenting only. At some
you get, like, so she had all of this planned all this while, and she knew he was gonna agree at some point, and now suggesting they be family. So she wanted to trap him. It was a plan all along to trap him, and he fell for that because what?
she didn't have a place to stay. Agreement was co-parenting only. At some point, she didn't have a place to stay, and Airbnb was his main form of income. So he's like, you know what? You're the mother of my child. Come, stay. And she started to complain about child support. He pays her $10,000 up front, started to pay her $750 a month. Things start to get more messy, especially once our friend Brett gets himself a little girlfriend, you know, a little love of his life. And it gets more trickier. Brett doesn't want to wear a Halloween costume, or you can't see the baby. He doesn't want to spend the night with her, or you cannot come to the baptism. And it keeps getting worse. Maria is out here posting that he's a deadbeat, is not showing up, and though the Facebook kind of tells a little bit of a different story because she would post images, but then not one, but 2 bombs drop. Brett's
Destroying his life, because he too is also part of it, to destroy his own life. Because make it make sense, how do you pull through this, somebody you barely know agreeing to be a sperm donor? You barely know this person.
does a paternity test and but 2 bombs drop. Brett does a paternity test and he is not the father. So that baby is not his. And Maria, so far, she has responded. She's out here trying to say that the dates were wrong or something in terms of collection. But then Brett also has his version showing timestamps of the dates, of the image and the videos that he was with their daughter. There's receipts, timeline, timestamps. But you know, there's always 3 sides to every story. Most of all, my heart bleeds for this little girl. And I hope that they come to some sort of agreement that will be best for her in the end. He's dating Nurse Hadley just to sprinkle it all on top.
It's just sad that the little girl is involved in this, or another girl is involved in this, and this is what the child is going to grow up with. Now, if you understand why when we have lots of dysfunctional people in our life, or we see lots of dysfunctional people, part of the genesis, because she had all of this all planned along, him agreeing to be the sperm donor, because make it make sense, knowing that he was not even going to be in her life for a really long time, he doesn't even know her like that, he agreed to be the sperm donor. How do you do that to yourself? Just wow. Just wow. This is crazy. And this story itself, I've got lots of people talking all on TikTok. But this is real. It's not making sense. And lots of people will look at this and think it is okay. Wonder how many more are out there that are doing like this, because this move, he was in the wrong here, the same as the lady. The person I feel sad for or feel pity for is the little girl. Feel sad for the little girl. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is in the wrong here? I would really love your thoughts on this, because lots of people have different opinions regarding this. Picture it, if he hadn't done the paternity test, what would have been the case? I would really love your thoughts on this. You can share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.